Good morning, Mr. Redford. I'm Judi Dench, the Executive Housekeeper here at the WESTIN. It's a pleasure to meet you. Please, have a seat.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. My name is Robert Redford.
Thank you, we're very proud of it. Before we dive into the specific questions, I always like to start by learning a little more about the person behind the application. So, Mr. Redford, could you please introduce yourself briefly? Tell me about your background, your education, and what has brought you to this point in your career.
Certainly, Ms. Dench. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Robert Redford, and I am 28 years old. I completed my high school education at Central High School, followed by a certification in hospitality services from City Technical Institute, which gave me a strong foundation in guest service standards. For the past 5 years, I have worked in the service industry, including 2 years as a customer service associate at a busy retail store and 3 years as a laundry attendant at a high-volume dry cleaning facility. In that role, I was responsible for operating industrial washing machines, carefully sorting garments by fabric type, and ensuring all items were pressed and folded to meet quality expectations. I have developed a strong work ethic, an eye for detail, and a genuine passion for contributing to a guest's positive experience, which is why I am so excited about the opportunity here at the WESTIN.
That is a very well-rounded background, Mr. Redford. I'm particularly impressed by your combination of direct laundry experience and your formal training in hospitality services. It's clear you understand that this role is not just about machines, but about serving people. Thank you for that introduction. It gives me a great picture of where you're coming from.
Thank you, Ms. Dench. I appreciate that.
Now, let's begin with the first question. What specifically interests you about working as a laundry attendant in a 5-star hotel like the WESTIN?
Thank you for asking. What interests me most is the chance to be a part of a guest's exceptional experience, even from behind the scenes. At a 5-star hotel like the WESTIN, the quality of every detail matters. I understand that a perfectly pressed shirt or a softly folded towel contributes directly to a guest's feeling of comfort and luxury. I am a very organized person and I take great pride in my work. The idea of contributing to that high standard of service is very fulfilling to me.
That's a wonderful perspective. Can you tell me a little about your previous experience, perhaps in laundry or a related field that involved customer service?
Of course. While my direct laundry experience is from a high-volume dry cleaner, I have strong customer service skills from my time working at a busy retail store. At the dry cleaner, I was responsible for operating industrial washing and drying machines, carefully sorting items by fabric and color, and mastering the art of folding. The retail job taught me how to communicate with people, understand their needs, and resolve any issues politely and efficiently. I believe combining my attention to detail with my customer service experience is a great fit for this role.
The laundry operation can be very busy and involve repetitive tasks. How do you handle that kind of work while still maintaining your focus and motivation?
I find a lot of satisfaction in routine and order. To stay motivated, I focus on the goal, delivering a perfect product. I set small, personal targets for myself, like I will have this batch of sheets folded to the hotel's exact standard in the next hour. It becomes a personal challenge. Also, being mindful and focusing on the quality of each individual piece, whether it's a delicate blouse or a heavy bath towel, keeps the work engaging because each item requires the same high level of care.
And where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, Mr. Redford?
In 5 years, I hope to have grown with a company like the WESTIN. I would love to deepen my expertise in fabric care and laundry operations. Perhaps I could move into a senior or supervisory role, helping to train new team members on the high standards and efficient processes that a 5-star hotel requires. My main goal is to build a long-term career where I can contribute to the team's success and the hotel's reputation for excellence.
That's a great ambition. Let's talk about your skills. What would you say is your greatest strength for this position, and what is an area you are working to improve?
My greatest strength is my attention to detail. I naturally notice things like a missing button, a small stain that needs pre-treating, or a specific fabric that requires a gentle cycle. I believe this care prevents mistakes and ensures guests receive their items in impeccable condition. An area I'm always working on is speed. Because I focus so much on the details, I sometimes have to consciously remind myself to also maintain a good pace, especially during busy checkout times. I'm learning to find the perfect balance between doing the job perfectly and doing it efficiently.
Balance is key. Now, imagine a guest comes to you, very upset because a machine has taken their money and hasn't started. How would you handle that situation?
First, I would listen to the guest with my full attention and apologize sincerely for the frustration and inconvenience. I would say something like, "I am so sorry this has happened, Mr. Smith. Let me see what's going on right away." I would then check the machine myself. If it's an error I can quickly fix, like a door not properly closed, I would do so. If not, I would immediately issue a refund according to hotel policy and inform my supervisor so the machine can be tagged for maintenance. My priority is to make the guest feel heard, valued, and to resolve the problem as quickly as possible.
Can you describe a specific time when you went above and beyond to provide excellent service for a customer?
Yes. At the dry cleaner, a regular customer brought in a beautiful silk blouse with a stubborn stain she thought was permanent. She was very sad, thinking she'd have to throw it away. I remembered a special technique for protein-based stains on silk. I asked for her permission and a little extra time to try a gentle, hand treatment method before machine washing. It worked, and the stain came out completely. When she picked it up, she was overjoyed. That small extra effort created a loyal customer who trusted us completely with her clothes from then on.
Empathy is so important. How would you deal with a guest who is being very difficult or raising their voice?
I would remain completely calm and professional. I would not take their anger personally. I would let them express their frustration without interrupting, showing them I am listening. I would maintain a respectful tone and say, "I understand you are upset, and I want to help fix this for you." Often, people just want to feel heard. Once they've calmed down, I can focus on finding a solution. If I couldn't resolve it, I would politely and discreetly ask for a supervisor's assistance to ensure the guest gets the help they need.
Excellent approach. What steps would you take if a guest was unhappy with the actual result of their laundry, perhaps a shirt they feel isn't clean enough?
I would again start by listening and apologizing for their dissatisfaction. I would then look at the item with them, if possible, to fully understand the problem. I would ask, "Would you be comfortable with us rewashing this for you immediately, using a different method to try and get a better result?" I would explain what I planned to do differently. If the item was damaged, I would follow the hotel's procedure for reporting and compensating the guest. Keeping the guest informed at every step is crucial to rebuilding their trust.
Very thorough. What if a guest asks for a special service that we don't offer, like same-day service for a large item when our cutoff time has passed?
I would first apologize and let them know that we cannot offer that specific service today. But I wouldn't stop there. I would try to offer a helpful alternative. For example, I could say, "I'm so sorry, but our cutoff for same-day service was 30 minutes ago. However, I can personally ensure your item is the very first in the queue for tomorrow morning's first wash, and we will have it ready for you by specific time." This shows the guest that even though we can't do exactly what they want, we still want to help them as much as possible.
That's a great way to turn a no into a solution. Let's talk about the core of the job. What is your understanding of handling different types of fabrics?
I know it's the most important part of the job. Every fabric has a personality. For example, cotton and linens are strong and can usually handle warm water, but they can also shrink. Delicates like silk, wool, or lace need cold water, gentle cycles, and must never go in the hot dryer. I also know to always check the care label first. I understand the importance of separating not just whites and colors, but also washing heavy items like towels separately from delicate items to prevent damage.
And how familiar are you with using commercial or industrial laundry machines, like the ones we have here?
I am very comfortable with them. In my previous role, I used large capacity washing machines and industrial dryers daily. I'm familiar with different cycle settings for different load types and fabrics. I also know how important it is to clean the lint traps after every dryer cycle for safety and to perform basic checks to make sure the machines are running smoothly.
That's good to hear. Imagine you have a guest who has never used a self-service washing machine before. How would you explain it to them simply?
I would use very simple and friendly language. I'd say, it's very easy. First, let's put your clothes inside, but not too full so they have room to get clean. Then, we add the detergent in this little drawer here. Now, for these items, I recommend the delicate cycle, which we can select right here. You just turn this dial, push this button to start, and you're all set. I'll be nearby if you have any other questions.
Perfect. Safety is a top priority here. What key safety guidelines do you believe are most important in a laundry area?
I believe the most important rules are to prevent accidents. This includes immediately cleaning up any water spills on the floor to prevent slips. It's also critical to never overload machines, which can cause them to malfunction. And of course, regularly cleaning the lint traps in the dryers is the #1 rule to prevent fire hazards. I would also make sure all cleaning chemicals are stored safely and correctly.
Good. How comfortable are you with troubleshooting a basic machine problem, like a washer that won't spin?
I'm comfortable checking the simple things first. I would check if the load is unbalanced and redistribute the clothes, or make sure the drain hose isn't kinked. Often, it's a simple fix. If it's something more technical, I wouldn't try to fix it myself. I would put an out-of-order sign on it immediately and report it to my supervisor so the maintenance team can handle it safely.
That's the right approach. Back to a guest issue. What would you do if a guest said a vending machine for detergent took their money but didn't give the product?
I would first apologize for the trouble. I would ask them to show me which machine it was. I would then follow our hotel's policy. If we have a procedure for refunds, I would handle it right away. If not, I would take their name and room number, assure them that I have noted the issue, and immediately inform my supervisor so they can resolve it and get the guest their refund or product as quickly as possible.
Good. How would you handle a situation where a guest has left their finished laundry in a machine for a very long time?
First, I would wait a reasonable amount of time to see if they return. Then, to be helpful and keep the area clear for other guests, I would carefully remove their items, place them in a clean, dry laundry basket, and fold them neatly. I would leave a polite note in the area where they were sitting, letting them know their clean laundry is safe and folded, and where they can find it.
That's a very thoughtful and proactive solution. Have you ever had to resolve a dispute between two customers, perhaps over a machine?
Yes, I have. At the laundromat, two customers once disagreed about who was next for a dryer. I approached them with a smile and calmly said, "I can see there's a little confusion here. Let's see if we can sort this out." I listened to both sides briefly. I then offered a simple solution to keep things moving. How about we time the cycles? I can help the first person load their clothes now, and I promise to reserve the very next available dryer for you. By staying neutral and offering a practical solution, the tension dissolved quickly.
Excellent conflict resolution. If you found a valuable item like a watch or a wallet left behind, what would you do?
I would not touch it more than necessary. I would immediately take it to my supervisor or the hotel's designated lost and found department and log it according to our procedure. Guest privacy and security are paramount. I would never keep a lost item or discuss it with other guests.
Of course. During a very busy morning, how do you prioritize your many tasks? For example, you have a guest waiting, a machine beeping, and fresh linens to fold.
I would quickly assess the situation. My first priority would be the guest who is waiting, as personal interaction is the heart of hospitality. I would greet them with a smile and ask how I can help. If it's a quick question, I'd answer it. If it will take time, I'd acknowledge them and say, "I'll be right with you," then quickly unload the beeping machine to keep the cycle moving, and then return to the guest. I always try to be calm and methodical, not rushed, so I can maintain quality.
How would you ensure the laundry area itself stays clean and organized throughout your shift?
I believe in the clean-as-you-go method. I wouldn't wait until the end of my shifts. If I see a small spill, I wipe it up immediately. After folding a batch of towels, I would tidy my folding station. I would make sure all supplies are put back in their proper place. A clean and organized workspace is safer, more efficient, and projects a professional image that guests notice, even in a behind-the-scenes area.
Long shifts can be tiring. What strategies do you use to stay focused and energized?
I make sure I am physically prepared by staying hydrated. Mentally, I break the day into sections. Focusing on the task at hand helps the time pass productively. I also find motivation in the work itself, taking pride in seeing a pile of wrinkled linens transform into a perfectly folded stack ready for a guest's room. That visual progress is very satisfying and keeps me going.
There will be times when you are working alone, especially on a late shift. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, I am very comfortable working independently. I am a self-motivated person. When I'm alone, I focus even more on my routine and time management to ensure all the tasks are completed to the highest standard. I know I can always rely on my training and refer to our procedures if I have a question.
Confidence is key. How do you handle stress when you have to do many things at once in a busy environment?
I handle stress by staying organized. If things get hectic, I take one slow, deep breath to reset. I remind myself to focus on one task at a time and do it correctly, rather than rushing through everything and making mistakes. I also believe in communicating with my team. If I'm overwhelmed, a simple "can you give me a hand with these sheets when you have a moment?" can make a huge difference.
My final question for you, Mr. Redford, is about security. What measures would you take to ensure the security of our guests' belongings?
I would be constantly observant and aware of the laundry area. I would politely greet anyone in the area, which also lets them know a staff member is present. I would never leave a guest's personal items unattended in an open area. If I saw someone in the area who didn't seem to be a guest or staff, I would politely ask if they needed assistance and quietly alert a supervisor if something felt wrong. Protecting our guests' property is part of protecting the hotel's reputation.
Thank you, Mr. Redford. Those have been excellent and thoughtful answers throughout our conversation. Your understanding of the role and your commitment to guest satisfaction is exactly what we look for in a team member at the Westin.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dench. I truly appreciate you saying that. It's been a wonderful conversation and a great learning experience for me.
The feeling is mutual. Before we conclude, I always like to leave some time for the candidate. Do you have any questions or queries for me about the position, the team, or working here at the Westin?
Yes, I do have one question, actually. Throughout our discussion, I have gained a great understanding of the daily responsibilities. Could you tell me a little more about the opportunities for training and professional development within the housekeeping department for someone starting in this role? I am very keen to grow and learn.
I'd be happy to answer that. We have a very structured approach to development here. All new laundry attendants go through a comprehensive 2-week training program where you will be paired with a senior team member to learn our specific protocols, from fabric care standards to our signature folding techniques. Beyond that, we strongly believe in promoting from within. We offer quarterly workshops on topics like advanced stain removal and eco-friendly practices. For high-potential employees, there is a clear path to move into senior attendant roles and eventually supervisory positions within the laundry or housekeeping departments. If you show dedication and initiative, we will support your growth.
That's wonderful to hear and exactly the kind of environment I am looking for. Thank you for sharing that detail. It gives me even more confidence that this is the right place for me.
You're very welcome. It's important that our team members see a future with us. Well, Mr. Redford, it has been a genuine pleasure meeting with you today. We have a few more candidates to interview this week, and you will hear back from our Human Resources Department by the end of the week regarding the next steps. Thank you for your time and for the thoughtful conversation. We will be in touch soon.
Thank you again for this wonderful opportunity, Ms. Dench. I truly enjoyed our discussion and learning more about the WESTIN standards. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You as well, Mr. Redford. Take care and goodbye.
Goodbye.